Hello and thank you for joining me. I'm Heather Forgan of stampwithnellie.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in the UK, and today I'm going to make one of these tri-shutter cards, and this was a project that my friend Valerie Broomfield prepared for our last in-person classes together, and she's sent me a photo of her instructions. So I have already gone ahead and prepared some of the pieces for decorating the card. I will put this in my blog post. There'll be a link to that blog in the description for this video, so you can go there and get all of the measurements as well. But I need to do a little bit of preparation with the card base. So this is an A4 sheet of basic white thick card, and to start off with I'm going to just cut that on the short side at 5 3/4 inches. That's the nice easy bit, and then I'll leave that bit and I'll use that for my sentiment piece. And then I need to cut this down to, just double check my measurements, 10 1/2 inches. Okay. And again, I've got a bit left over for a sentiment later. Now, we need to do some scoring first of all. And this is just as normal. So we're doing all of the scoring on the long side here, and I want to do that at 1 3/4. So I've got that butted up there, and I've just moved that along to that edge as at 1 3/4. Give that a score. Then move it along to 3 1/2 inches. And then I need to put the arm out again and score that at 7 inches. Thought it was, but better check. 7 inches, and then 8 3/4 inches. Okay, that's all nice and straightforward and easy. Next bit takes it to a little bit more tricky. So again, on the short side, I've got that butted right the way up, and I'm taking this edge to 1 1/2 inches. Okay. Now, have you noticed that there are inch markings along there as well? I had to swap my trimmer because I had one with metric on there. Just realised in time. Okay. So my score line, let me just see if I can get that without a shadow. My score line is at 8 3/4 there. So I'm just going to lift the guide up, and I'm putting that little notch there at 8 3/4 inches, and then I can press that down, and I'm going to slide that, put it down flat now, not on top of all of that. I'm going to slide that along to this score line that's at 1 3/4. So that's my 1 3/4 inch there. Okay, so that little line there is my guide, and I want to stop it when I get to 1 3/4. Okay, so I've now cut a line between those two score lines there. I'm just going to turn this around, and I'm going to do exactly the same again. So again, lining this up at 1 1/2, lining this up at 8 3/4, press it down, slide it along to 1 3/4. Lift that up and make sure that I've gone far enough. Possibly do it with an extra smidge there. too far. That's better. Okay, so now I have 2 slits, top and bottom there. Done with the trimmer. So as I mentioned, I've already got some pieces of Designer Series paper cut. And I've got 2 tall pieces like that. And they're going to go on there. And this is, I've forgotten what this is called. This is the Winter Meadow Designer Series paper. Which carried over from a catalogue last year. And is so pretty. Okay, so I'm going to pop that one on there. Just centering that between my score line here and the top and side and bottom edges. A little bit of glue. And then that one goes on there. So these 2 pieces measure 5.5 inches by 1.5 inches. Then I've got this piece that is for the middle. And what I'm going to do is, I know for sure I want to have those ones there, so I'm going to do those ones. And these measure 1 1/4 by 3 1/4. They're going to go in there. So I'm going to use my bone folder just to press those edges down, because I can't remember which side I cut. And it does give you a little kind of lip where the blade goes, so and just flatten that down. So this one's going to go at the bottom. Okay, and then I'm going to play around with the other pieces of paper and decide which combination I like best, because obviously it's double-sided. Happy with that. So I've got that, and I've got these. Like that. And then I've got that or that. So do I go that way? Or do I turn these around and go with the blueberry bushel? I think that's a little bit too plain, but I could bring that in because there's a bit of blueberry bushel in like that. I think I'm going to do that because my sentiment is going to go in there. That's one of the best things with Stampin' Up Designer Series paper is you've got 2 sides to play with. And you can come up with your own combinations. So these little bits are 1.5 by 1 1/4 inches. So you need 4 of those. Let's just get that out of the way. Like that. Just want to make sure I've got them lined up. And again, I'm just going to flatten the edges down of that. And press them down at the same time. Okay, so then I'll do these 2 up the top. So when we did this in class, Valerie had used Designer Series paper that is in the mini catalogue and also comes with sheets of the kind of pop-out die cut pieces. So people were getting very creative with their decoration on their cards. Mine is going to be a lot more plain. Mainly because I don't have those pop-out die cuts to use, which were great fun. Right, we're nearly there with my gluing, and then I just decide what's going to be my sentiment and then think about a little bit of embellishment. I am a fan of the old wet glue because I can move it around and make sure I've got it exactly where I want it. Okay. And as things stand, that's not going to fit in an envelope, but it will when it's folded up. Lovely. Just going to let that all adhere nicely, and I'm going to stamp on that bit that I have left over. I'm going to use Blueberry Bushel because I decided to go with Blueberry Bushel on there, and this stamp is Season's Greetings, and it is from the Greetings of the Season stamp set. And I'm going to use one of those dies from Greetings of the Season as well. I think I might go with this one. That fits nicely with that and will fit nicely in there as well. So let me get rid of that before I put my finger in it. Let's line this up. I think I'm going to have a little bow or something on there. And I can't find my washi tape. I have just this tiny little bit here, which may or may not be enough to hold that in place. We shall see. And I'm just going to chop this down. Now, I have a little box of scraps, and so that I know that I haven't trimmed this properly, I make it very obvious with a squint line. And then I don't think that that could possibly be a straight edge like that one. Just my little tip to myself. Let me get this super duper mini cut and emboss machine. And we will pop that in there. Try and straighten it back up again. Now, I do like to make sure that I have staggered my plates because they go through a lot easier. So I've got my base and then a bottom one and then a top one, and I like to have that at a little bit of an angle so it's not clunking straight in and out again. So hand on the top, wind that through, and there we have it. Easy peasy. Ooh, that's pretty. Just pop that over to the side for now. Take that out of the way. That is going to go on there. Now, we need to do some burnishing. And again, with the bone folder, like that. I'm going to do it all one way. And then figure out, because I didn't make one of these cards in the class, so this is new to me, how the rest of it all goes. Right, so I think that goes like, ooh, how does this go to fit in the envelope? Like that. Then that will go that way. This one can come out and then that one can go back like that. So there we go. That is my card all folded. I just need to put my season's greetings in there. And I'm not going to pop it up because of all the folding stuff. I'm going to pop that there. And then I'm going to get this silver trim, I think. And I'm going to tie a bow and pop it on with a glue dot. Let's straighten up those loops. All twisted here, there and everywhere. That's better. I should have taken my time when I tied it, and then I wouldn't have to faff about like this. But we are where we are. Right. That looks better to me. And I'm just going to get my mini glue dots and my ribbon scissors. Like that. And that is going to sit there, covering that hole. So there's my first glue dot there. Popping it on and then peel it off so that the glue dot is attached. Just going to fold it over a little bit so that none of the sticky bit is exposed for when we fold our card. So we can display it something like that. That's quite cool, isn't it? And it folds like that. Cute. I do like that. It might need a little bit of length. What do we think? Let's see if I have anything that's not too bulky. Oh, I like those. Those flat adhesive backed pearls. Let's use those. So they come in 3 sizes. And I'll put one there. Or do they come in 2 sizes? Perhaps 2 sizes. Can't tell. And I'll put one on there. Let's put one on here. Do I want some more? Or is that enough? I think that will do for now. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. If you have, please give me a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, please do click on that subscribe button. Click the bell, get notification the next time I upload a tutorial. And thank you so much to Valerie Broomfield of Valerie's Handmade Gifts for this tutorial.